Welcome back, guys. On our previous video, we learned how to simplify when we are given one term which is multiplied by two terms that are inside the brackets, whereby we say that to deal with this one is very easy. What we do, we take this one and multiply it with here and also multiply it that other side, But this time around on this video, we are having two terms, not one. We are having these two terms that has to be multiplied with two terms that are inside the brackets. So this type of multiplication, we call it multiplying a binomial by a binomial. So what is basically going to happen is still going to be the same analogy that we have performed here, but this time around on this one, I'm going to multiply with this one, which is still the same. That one I also multiply with this one. But this time around, I'm going to also do the same with the added term that is there. This is going to multiply here and multiply it here. Perfect. So this is what we're going to do also on this type of questions that are here. Now, let's start with the first one. So the first one is this one. So here we're going to still do the same thing. This is going to multiply here and also multiply there on that other side, So we're going to take x and multiply it with x, which will give us what? X squared. So here we're going to have x squared, So next we're going to take this x squared and multiply it with 2, which is x multiplied by 2, A number is multiplied by a number, a variable is multiplied by a variable. So here there is an invisible one, which we don't need to write it. This one is multiplied by this. We're going to have 2, and x multiplied by what? By nothing. We're just going to keep it the same, which is x, So here we're going to have what? We're going to have plus 2x, So I'm going to do the same thing also on the other one, which I'm going to take this one and multiply with this side and also multiply it with this one that is there, So 3 multiplied by x, we're going to get what? Remember, there is an invisible one there. So when we multiply this, we're going to have 3x, and then we're going to have plus 3x this time around. And also this 3 that is here is going to be multiplied with what? With 2, which we're going to get what? 6. So we're going to have plus 6. But this time around, what makes this one special is that because there is what we call like terms here. There are terms that are the same. If you can pay close attention here, there is a term like 2x and also 3x, These are the like terms. So what we need to do is to add them, How do you add them? You just have to take 2 and you plus it with what? With 3 in your calculator, which is going to give you 5. But this time, since there is x and x, we're just going to put x there, So what we're going to have here, we're going to have x squared plus, when we add these two, we're getting what? 5x plus 6. So this is how to simplify this one around. Let's just take a look at the second one. How can we simplify it? So here's the second one. We're going to still do the same thing. This term is going to be multiplied with this one, which here we're going to have 2x, which will multiply it with what? With x. Remember, a number is multiplied by a number, and here there is an invisible one. I keep repeating this for the sake of those who don't understand this. So this is multiplied with this one, which here we're going to get what? We're going to have 2, and this x multiplied with this, we're going to have x squared. So going to first number is going to be 2x squared. So now we're going to also do the same thing. This 2, it has to be multiplied with negative 3x. So we're going to have a 2x, which is now multiplied by what? By negative 3y. First, a number is multiplied by a number, a variable is multiplied by a variable. So this 2 is going to be multiplied with negative 3, So 2 multiplied by negative, we're going to get negative 6, So x multiplied by what? There is no other variable that is the same as x. So we're going to keep x as the same and also y as the same. This is not the same as x multiplied by x. Here there was a variable that we have to multiply with x, but this time around on this one, x it does not multiply by anything. So we're just going to keep it as negative 6xy. X, y. And then we're going to do the same thing, but this time around we're going to take this one and multiply it with this one. I'm going to take negative 4y, we multiply it with what? With x. What are we going to get? A number is multiplied by a number. We're going to get negative 4 4xy. This time around, I'm not going to explain, guys, what happened. So we're going to have 4xy. And we're going to do the same thing this time. We're going to take this and multiply with the last one, which we're going to is the same as 4y multiplied by negative 3y. So this negative is multiplied by this negative 3, which we get what? We get positive 12, and y multiplied by y, we get what? Y squared. So we're going to have plus 12y squared. So there are like terms always in this kind of a that you need to also add those kinds of like terms in order for you to be able to simplify this kind of a stuff fully. So what are the like terms here that we're dealing with? So the like terms, if you pay close attention, there is a term like 6x, which is the same as this one. Why are these like terms? Because both of them, the xy and xy, so I'm going to add those kinds of like terms. So what you're going to do to add those kinds of like terms, you're just going to say, take it the way it is here, the way it is, just take it the way it is and put it aside. We're going to have negative 6xy, negative 4xy. So you don't have to worry about this variable, this one. Let me just show you. You don't have to worry about this and also this variable. What you need to add here, just going to add this negative 6 and negative 4. So I'm going to take a calculator and then and just say negative 6 and negative 4 and check your answer that you're going to get there. So when you say negative 6, negative 2, you're getting negative 8. So this is the same as negative 8, and just write the way it is x, y. So here we're going to have basically 2xy. When we add these two, we're getting what? Negative 8xy, which is plus 12y squared. I hope that one is clear to you. So this is how to simplify this. Let's just take a look at the last one. So here is the last question. So here we're going to still apply the same analogy. This, it multiplies here and also multiplies there. So basically we're going to say 2ab, which will multiply it with what? With ab. So when we multiply this, a number is multiplied by a number. Remember, there is an invisible 1 here. 2 multiplied this, we're going to get 2. And a multiplied by a, we're going to have a squared. And b multiplied by b, we're going to have b squared. So our first term here is going to be 2a squared and b squared, So we're going to do the same thing. This time around, I'm going to take this one and multiply with negative 5, So it's 2ab, which we're multiplying it with negative 5, I apologize for the background noise, guys. So here, what is basically going to happen, I'm going to just take this one and multiply it with negative 5. So this is going to give us negative 10. So there's no other term that can be able to be multiplied with these two. So just going to keep it the same. So going to have negative 10ab, so this is 10, Perfect. So next, I'm going to just do the same thing also on that one. I'm just going to do the same thing on the remaining ones. So this time around, I'm just going to take this one and multiply with this one, which is 3 multiplied by AB. So 3 multiplied by AB, this is easy. So this is going to be what? This is going to be plus 3AB. Then the last one is 3 multiplied by negative 5, which is going to give us negative 15. So there is always like terms when you're dealing with the binomials, that you need to add always. So what are the like terms we're talking about here? This is the like term, and also this is the like term. So what you're going to do, we're going to add those kinds of like terms. And I know that it's a little bit challenging for some other students to add those kinds of like terms. So the like term that we're talking about here is negative 10ab and plus 3ab. So when they say add the like terms, they're not saying that you have to add a, b, and no. What you're going to do here, you just have to realize that this thing here are those kinds of constant term. What you're going to add, which is, you cannot find this on a calculator, so just going to add this negative 10 and negative 3. Patch it the way it is in a calculator. Just going to take a calculator and say negative 10 plus 3, you will find that kind of an answer. So when you say negative 10 plus 3, you're getting negative 7. So but this time around, you're going to just, since here, this one you're not dealing with it, you're just going to write the way it is a, b. So here we're going to have 2a squared b squared, and with this, since here we add the like terms, when we add them, we're getting what? Negative 7ab. So when they say add the like terms, you just have to add these constant numbers and leave this one the way it is. So we're going to have negative 15. So this is how to simplify this one.